Alright guys, here today's top stories in the old segment. Number 1. If anyone needs evidence that Ruto will steal elections in 2027, then all you have to do is listen into this.
That Friday when I came from Mombasa, at William, before I left, he told me he was having a meeting.
Yes.
In the main house. And there's no reason for me not to disclose. He told me, he himself told me that he was in a meeting. The reason he had because I waited for some time and I sent a message that I'm leaving. He came out and told me, sorry, I'm doing this, but we can have a meeting tomorrow. I'm with some 3 gentlemen.
Okay.
Which ones? He told me himself. I'm in a meeting with Chebukati, Professor Gulia, and Molu. You know who those ones were?
Yes.
And that was in May 2022 when he called me. Just before, that was a Friday. And the next day, Saturday, so the meeting going late into the night. Before the next day, Sunday, he names Rigathi Gachagua as his running mate. That meeting was not official. They were holed up in the main house.
Okay.
In fact, the people who are coming there didn't know. He's the one, it is William who told me. The people he's meeting with. But now, you see, of course, he had confidence and that, I would...
If he was doing illegal meetings with Chebukati and friends, what do you think he's doing with Ethekon, who seems to be worse than Chebukati? I'm even sure right now as we are speaking, Ruto's team has a sample of the Kim's kit and they're trying to reverse engineer and see how it works. And, long story short, the voting in 2027 will likely be compromised. If this guy as the deputy president could somehow circumvent the president and NIS and all these people and meet with Chebukati, Gulie, and Boya Molu. I don't know if Marjan Hussein was part of it. And they meet and the NIS never know. What do you think this guy can do now that he's president? Again, let me reiterate. This issue of saying let us just get IDs, we go vote and we will carry the day. We come out in numbers. It's not enough. This is such a unique election whereby you need to have your ID and register as a voter. You go vote and once you've done your civic duty, you stay there and guard the vote. That is the only way we'll beat the manipulation of the Kim's kit, the servers, the Form 34A and Form 34B and all that other nonsense. Lakini tupige tuende nyumbani. Under this administration, umepiga umeenda nyumbani, expect a different result. The way you voted, expect the opposite when you get home. Number 2, the Mombasa Road Expressway was designed to save you time in exchange of some chums. But instead of saving you time, Kasongo has decided to use it as an entrapment chamber. Can you believe it? The speed limit on the expressway is now 60 km per hour. Just have a look at this.
So Expressway tells us tukiingia Expressway, tuna save time, tuna save fuel. Tell me why wana to limit na 60 kilometers per hour. Tena hii ni inner lane. What the hell?
At this rate, no one in their right mind will pay to use the expressway. Because if the expressway is 60 and the regular freeway is 80, situende na hiyo. Umepita juu ili usave time, but you are limited to 60. You see the kind of foolishness we're having in this administration. 80 sounds reasonable, although I still feel it's too low. 100 should be enough. 60, hii ni kutafuta pesa mnatafuta. Mnajua wale wanatumia expressway ni watu wako na kakitu. Kwa hivyo unaeka speed ambayo walifanya average. Wakaona gari mingi zinakimbia hapo 85-90. Wacha tuweke 60. Tukieka 60, the probability of 38% of the drivers being found on the wrong is very high. And we can make even more money than they are paying to use this road. Badala mtu kulipa sijui 500 kutumia expressway. Si huyu mtu tumshike akikimbia tupee 10,000. That is the kind of greed that we are dealing with. In fact, for the opposition, they should just bring the sera, let me call it, walete sera. Ambayo inasema wakichaguliwa, hizi speed camera zote zitaekwa 100. Ile iko service lane, something reasonable like 70, 80. Sisemi zitolewe, ni mzuri, especially kama zinaweza shika hawa watu wana misbehave kwa barabara. But hii mambo ya kutafuta kukamua wa Kenya na 60 km per hour or 50 km pale James Gishuru Road, that one is garbage. And I'll not tire from saying it is garbage. You know it, I know it, they know it, but they pretend to be blind just so that they can make some quick money. Na hata tujui hii pesa ukilipa inaenda wapi? Ministry of Transport, inaenda State House, inaenda Judiciary, inaenda wapi? That is another question they need to answer. Number 3, high-rise buildings have become a serious problem for private residential owners. But this particular owner found a very strange solution to that problem. Just have a look at this tip.
Niaje majamaa. Nataka muangalie hii video mniambie like huyu jamaa alikuwa anafikiria nini manzi? Mtu naamwaje kujenga wall kubwa hivyo nyuma ya building kingine? What the hell, like ina idea ingine crazy manze, mimi sijaiona manze. Like alikuwa anafikiria nini? Ama anazuia jua? Ama ni mchoyo mse, like hadi sielewi manze. Ama ni uchafu, ni basi walikuwa wanarusha inaanguka kwa mabati yake. Like mtu anawestachi hizo material zote, siangeamua basi ajenge ghorofa jo. Abomwe hii ajenge ingine, cause hiyo wall yote crazy manze, na niko sure kuna mado kadhaa zimetumika hapo. Na huyu jamaa akaamua tu kuziwest jo. Ni bulanda manze. Hebu mniambie hapo comment section huyu jamaa. Like ina ingine crazy sana manze, sielewi jo.
It doesn't even end there. Here we have another legend who did the exact same thing but in a much more cost effective manner. Yeah, kuweka mawe na hoop iron na hii mambo yote. Just have a look at this. I think the answer to the problem is we should have clearly demarcated residential and commercial areas. And if it is mixed, isemekane. Ukijenga pale usinune. But if it is commercial, let it stay commercial. You can't build residential. And if it's residential, same thing. You can't bring in commercial. That way, at least we have some form of uniformity. But to add on that, if there's one thing I wish the government could do, when you're using the highway on Kenya, especially kwa hizi major cities, Nairobi, Kiambu, and so on, you'll see a lot of buildings in different shapes and sizes. It makes the place look like a concrete slum. I wouldn't mind a law saying that all houses in this particular region should be painted the color blue or whatever color it is, so that it has some form of uniformity. Haikai kama concrete jungle. That one, I think, is something they can look into, so that even if we can't all build the same building because tuko na different financial capability, but we can all have a uniform thing going on. Like when you go to Mombasa, why do you get that feeling of umekuja holiday? Because all the buildings are white and there is an architectural theme going on there. But since we can't ensure a constant architectural theme going on across all the properties, at least a uniform color. That one I can endorse. But I don't know what you guys think. Just drop me your comments in the comment section below and I'll do the best to read them and to give you a response. And with that, guys, here today's ads of the day.
Right now, I'm with my team headed to a client's house in Ruto for consultation. That is to take measurements of the windows, go through our catalog with the client, and then once they decide on the color and the fabric they want, we'll get busy sewing, and at long last, the curtains installation will be on us. So if you're looking for curtains, shears, curtain rods, curtain accessories, reach out to Phoenix Curtains and Interior Decor and we will sort you out. Call us on 0724 414153.
If you're in need of electrical wiring, solar installation, or electrical fittings such as strip lights, snake lights, downlighters, or chandeliers, contact Engineer Wycliffe at 0707 476602 and he'll get your house dapped up. If you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really, really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.